Survival game is one of the best simulation games about how we can turn the time into a different world era. Right now, the progress of the technology is getting massive, so we don't have a chance to experience how the people in the dinosaurs era can survive every day. But through the survival game, at least we are able to describe how it's done. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of Top 10 Survival Games Mobile 2025 Building and Exploration. Rust Mobile. I really appreciate how possible the developer made the mobile version of Rust Mobile have a better graphic than PC version. Such a pleasure to have one of the best new survival games on mobile in 2025. The game surely will take so much size to download, but once you have seen the visual, then you will realize how amazing it is. So, Rust Mobile is a new open-world survival game where we play in a first-person perspective point of view. Every single tool will have a durability and can be broken once the game's meta reach the limit. But we can easily craft the tool and find out the material so easily around the spot that we respawn. Trust me, it's a huge open world game that we can explore, but we really need to focus on our life indicator like a water and food indicator to represent the energy of our main character. Even the entire game looks like it is set from the Stone Age, but luckily we can use a gun as our main primary weapon to kill the monster or the enemy. But of course, the tools will be so useful for two things, which are for gathering some resources and also hitting the monster for a melee combat. Create your own base by placing the foundation, wall, roof and design it as you like. Just Survival Multiplayer. This game is one of the highest graphic survival game on mobile, even we can set the graphic into 4K, but only a few people know it. It's such a hidden gem game, seriously, once you watch this video. Then you will realize how amazing the visual looks. This is a multiplayer survival game where we can play in one world within each player in total. We can do an exploration together or even do a duel or a player versus player. But if you are not a type of a person to play a competitive game, then be considered to play the free survival mode. But trust me, the game's level difficulty is quite hardcore, even if you don't have a chance to fight against the first animal, which is the wolf. The enemy's power is unreasonable. We need to craft a better and stronger equipment, or we can freely loot the equipment like an armor and weapons inside of the houses. The crafting time is very fast. We only need to wait for a single crafting system for about 10 seconds. So we can craft as many tools and weapons as we can in a short period of time. I love how the weather can change suddenly, sometimes rainy, clear, summer, spring and even night. Get your torch to see the area around because the animal will aggressively attack us in any direction. Best Survival Multiplayer Games Mobile 2025. Once Human. The game has so many fans on the worldwide as one of the best graphic game survival on mobile. The visual has a AAA level because the game has multiple platforms, which are for PC and mobile. No wonder it has a higher score by the IGN rating. You will get the exact experience as a PC because on the mobile version it will have the original base, either the gameplay, mechanism, system, and also story. With a realistic look, it will easily attract the player who love to play a survival game. The monster shape looks so unique and strange, even every single enemy and bosses will represent a different attacking pattern that we should anticipate while in the combat. It's not about exploring the world and facing strange creatures only, because we'll have a task to create a build base with your own various style and shapes. Always remember to craft your items and develop countless of gears to support the operation in combat. Earth Revival Decor. This is what I call with a survival games. Look at how beautiful the ambience. Even we have a clear weather in a day, making everything look so clear and we can enjoy the whole scenery and panorama. As a survival game, it has one of the most beautiful visual games that has been released globally for Android and iOS platforms. It's a free-to-play game, trust me, you will be able to handle any mission on your own. The gameplay absolutely impressed me. We can craft some equipment, weapon. Anyway, while exploring the world, we will have a pet who's fighting with us side by side and also powering up him to make your combat power rise significantly. It has a futuristic world where the enemies and our base look so advanced. Even the tools that we use for gathering some material are not using an axe or a pickaxe anymore, but the gun will become the tool. The combat mechanism has a high level of fast-paced timing, lock the enemy's head to deal a multiple damage. Overall, I don't have any single complaint. Top MMORPG survival game multiplayer for Android and iOS 2025. Light of Motiram, who's here sticking if the developer get a huge inspiration from Horizon Zero Dawn Mobile. Even the game's banner on his official website looks the same, but honestly, I'm really happy seeing the game represent such a very dynamic visual. There are some games that come to my mind for the first time, which are Monster Hunter Mobile, Horizon Mobile, Ark Mobile, and also Palworld Mobile. So which game do you think has the similarity? Let's get back about the gameplay. This is a new brand survival game open world where the game is set in a futuristic world. The robot and sci-fi are combining to describe how the future of the world is. We will easily find the robotic design of the monster or a pet, the feature available to play art, planting or farming, crafting of course, and also exploration. As a main hero, we can switch any weapon freely like a sword, broadsword, bow or a spear. Obtaining those weapons through crafting and getting the material nearby, construct your own house and produce your own progress faster. Aritra Slide. What a great game. We have a very small size survival game that has less than 1 GB in total. It's very crazy how the game runs on the game size perfectly with a high graphic and has such a great rendering visual of cloud effect, water effect, shadow effect, and also sun glare effect. Unfortunately, the gameplay is making me confused because we don't have any main quest option about what we should do as a newbies. I have tried to find the weapon around the yard and inside of the houses, but I didn't find any. The developer should try to add about the simple tools like an axe for the earlier game to the player and able to explore them. Jurassic Island Survival. If you missed Durango Mobile, then this game will be the best survival game to play. Unfortunately, the game is in development and I have tried it. The developer is really taking the player feedback seriously, because I realize every time they launch the game on testing, there is a significant improvement from the stability and also graphic. It has a top-down view perspective where we can explore the world freely, but most of the way will be closed because we need to go through the main mission to expand the territory. It will be set in a dinosaurs era and we have a chance to tame the dino to become our pet. Try to reduce the dino's HP as low as you can to increase the probability of capturing rate. The gap between a stronger enemy and a weak one is quite huge, so we need to make sure the preparation is done for any equipment level. Garena Undawn. This game still become one of the most played survival game on 2025. You can easily see how many players are playing while we reach on the safety area, which is on the city. Even the world chat message looks so crowded at all. Of course, it will cause a bit laggy while we are arriving there. Overall, I love how the game really good in graphic. In some point, I realize it looks so realistic. For example, when the enemies seeing each other, then they will attacking between them, especially if they have a different type of a zombie or a monster. These things is really enough to let the player see how the developer try to give a deep experience to the player. The gameplay is, we can freely ride a vehicle to reach a further destination and clear the quest even faster. Most of the zombie has a slower movement than the other game. Of course, for me it's quite newbie friendly. Darkest Days. This game will be the best alternative of Resident Evil games on mobile because it has the same gameplay, which is the role-playing games as a single player. So we can't really do what we wanted because the game will push the player to clear the main quest. Most of the mission is to clear the area that is full of zombies. Trust me, the zombies number is really massive. Luckily, we have another partner that will help us along the journey. He will actively shoot the zombie with his gun, but of course we should be more active to manage the zombie because we have more mobile and also a bigger damage than our partner. I noticed the NPC who survived from the apocalypse is very low, which means we don't have much option to exploring the area. The game size is quite affordable, about 5 GB in total. With this size, I am sure the developer can sharpen the graphic and enhance the sharpness. Ark Ultimate Edition Mobile. This is the next sequel and I really love to see how the game develops significantly, especially from the graphic. Unfortunately, I see a lot of feedback that give a low stars through the Play Store. It happened because the developer can't maximize the potential of the game's graphic on the low end point, even though it looks quite blurry and sometimes it gets slower and laggy once we play the game longer. It's only happened to low end devices, but I've tried on my own phone and I'm satisfied with the game's results. The game really shows us how the art title should be. We will find a huge monster, but be careful because their power is way too strong for us in the early game. Try to develop yourself step by step because the game's progress is quite slow though. I wish the developer will make an aim assist because I have a difficult way to hit the target, like I should come closer and crawl to kill the dodo. Bonus: Sailor's Odyssey. For the last game, I will give you the offline survival game with a small size just under 1 GB. I'm sure you will love to see the visual. We'll start on the shore with a beautiful island around us, but I don't think the games get any update because I have seen any difference since the last time I played it. We will pick 4 different characters of warriors, hunter, gunner, and also berserker. There is no skill selection and each of the classes will have their own weapon since we started the game. The game is really smooth even if you set the graphic into the higher level. I highly recommend swimming and seeing how beautiful the sea is. It is crystal clear. These all are the best new survival games 2025 with the best graphic, and I have mentioned about the gameplay and how the game will run on any specific devices. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks.